Hello, my name's Helen Waring. I've been a member of Chelmsford Vineyard for a number of years, and I wanted to talk to you this morning about something I've been talking to my daughter about a lot recently. It's something that I've been reading about in a book called Parenting Children for a Life of Faith by Rachel Turner, and she talks about chatting and catching things from God. And it's a way of thinking about prayer in a much more informal way, as just a conversation between us and God. And I've realised, despite having the best intentions at various points in my life, that I try and complicate prayer. And particularly when I'm trying to work out how to help my own children have their relationship with God, we try and come up with formalities or little formula that will help them in the way that we want them to connect with God. But Rachel Turner turns this on its head and says that actually we just need to relax. And that's how my relationship with God is when it's at its best. It is important to try and section away part of the day and to prioritise some time with God, but it's just as important for him to be a part of all of our lives, every minute, all of the time. And in many ways that's easier and less pressure. And I don't know about you, but I've noticed that since schools have gone back and there's some kind of normality returning to many of our lives, that busyness has come back as well, and that restfulness of having our days emptied of so many of the things that we filled them with before was quite helpful. And I'm now finding myself picking up many things and my day becoming crammed, and actually spending time, just moments, saying to God, oh wow, that's a beautiful reflection of the water. Just seeing that friend, thanks Lord, that was so lovely, I haven't seen them in ages. And even just asking him those little short questions. I'm really worried about so-and-so, what do you think I should do? And actually those little things are the most important, and those are the things that fuel our relationship with God, because it's in the everyday that we hear him and know him better. Brother Lawrence, who's a 17th century French monk, he has a very famous book called Practicing the Presence of Christ. And his whole way of being was that every moment of his day was with God. Prayer wasn't a thing that happened at a certain time of day. It was how he was. He talked about knowing God before you could love him, and you can't know God unless you spend time with him. And it was in those everyday things, everything he did, he kept up a constant conversation with God. And I'm just bringing that to you as my top tip for this week. It's easier in many ways than trying to sit down for a period of time that might feel rigorous and unhelpful and our minds wander. And yes, it's important to spend chunks of time studying the Bible and just resting in God's presence. But those day-to-day chatting, asking God what's been the best part of the day for him, what's made him laugh, saying to him, oh, wow, that was so funny. Just allowing God to draw our attention to things around us that make him sad or us sad. Those are the things that I think help grow our relationship with God. So take that away with you this week, and I hope it's helpful.